Well, hello, Paul here at the ranch. Again, just a glorious day here in Orange County, New York. Friends, today we're going to be working on two skills that are really critical for defensive shooting, but they're also critical if you're shooting in any kind of matches, especially IDPA or USPSA. And the first skill drill we're going to work on is called an emergency reload. And this happens when you fire your last round, your cycle goes back, your slide locks, and you have to get back in the gunfight and get back into the competition as quickly as possible. And so I will demonstrate it. I'll walk through what I'm thinking about. I'll give you a couple points of reference, though, things I think about. One is make sure that I'm doing the reload in my workstation where I can actually see the mag funnel. I can see all that I need to make the reload, but I can also acquire the target in my peripheral vision. It's very important to stay focused on the targets that you're trying to acquire after your reload's done. The other thing is to really think about using gravity and letting gravity drop the mag. I've seen people do these silly kind of moves and all this kind of stuff to get rid of their mag. If you hit the mag release and you have your gun, pointed in a downward direction, that mag is going to drop very efficiently. So make sure you're thinking about that. The third thought is really around using, and it came to me, a gentleman, I was taking a defensive pistol class with Mike Pinone. He said what he likes to think about is grabbing like a can of Campbell's soup and reading the label. And that's kind of the thought you have with regards to acquiring your mag and trying to orientate your gun correctly for an emergency reload. So with that, I'm gonna do it in a slower presentation. I'll kind of walk you through the thoughts I have around it, and we'll go hot right now, and then we'll do it at a little more pace with a timer. All right, going hot. So we'll draw. Bring our pistol out, drop our safety, shot. I orientate my pistol downward. See how quickly and efficiently that magazine released? I have my finger high up on the index of that, right indexing towards the front of those bullets. Right in as I can acquire the target, drop the slide stop, actuate the and back on board. Again, and back on safe. So that's the drill, and now we'll do it at a little more pace. All right, friends, now we're going to do some emergency reloads at pace. So we're going to just draw, fire one shot, we'll go to a slide lock, then we're going to re-engage and get back on target. I'm shooting for something sub 3 seconds on the reload from my concealment. And we'll show you how it goes. Going hot. Set up for the next one. Let me just see how the timing was on that. So the total time was at just under 5 seconds. The reload was in 288, which is okay for me, and the draw was at 211. So let's do that one more time. Again, I could get a little bit higher. I brought my gun down lower. I want to focus on getting my gun a little higher on that reload. Shooter ready. Stand by. Much better positionally. I don't know how the time was, but yeah, it was actually a better time too. 474. And again, my draw was pretty much the same. It was 210 or 211. Last time this was at 212, but my reload was at 262. So bringing that gun up higher, getting it more in my workspace really was helpful at 262. Now we're going to shift gears and we're going to focus on a retention reload. Let me set it up. Well, friends, now we set up for what's called a retention reload. So we're gonna reload, but we're gonna reacquire the rounds. No bigger sin in defensive shooting than to drop a full mag or a partial mag and leave rounds that you might need to defend yourself on the ground or someplace where you don't have access to them readily. So what we're going to do in this situation is, this is a technique that was given to me by Mark Rettel, a pro shooter from Colt, and I think it's one of the more efficient ways to keep a retention reload. And it also accesses, for me, the front pocket is a great place for me to re-access those rounds. I've talked about that before in defensive shooting. So what we're going to do today is we're going to fire a shot, we're going to do a retention reload, and then fire another shot. I'm trying to keep my reload in and around 3.5 seconds is what I'm shooting for. I can't do it as efficiently as I can in emergency reload, but I try to get in that 3 to 3.5 second range. So with that, we're going to do one at a slower pace so you can kind of see the technique, and then we'll do one on the timer with a little more pace. All right, shooter ready? We'll draw. We'll bring the gun to bear. Drop our safety. Reacquire my hand position as I grab the new one. Back on target, and then we'll recover. That's the technique. Now we're going to do it with a little more pace. Bring this out of retention and try her at a little more pace. Shooter ready? Stand by. Recover. Make sure nothing else that we got to deal with. All right, that was in 537, and so the draw was in 220, and the reload was in 317, which is, you know, I would say I was comfortable with the reload in terms of timing wise. So with that, whether it's an emergency reload, whether it's a reload from retention, make sure that you're practicing your reloads at the range. It's a very, very important skill, whether you're a competitive shooter, whether you're just practicing good, safe gun handling, as well as defending whatever you might need to with your firearm. Make sure that you have a clear understanding of how you're going to reload your firearm as best you can. With that, as always, be safe. God bless you, and thanks for watching.